What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Erasure. And we're going to go back for another bonus tune from the Wild B-side folder. And the next tune, as Luke, I knew she was going to be very devious. She is definitely in a rambunctious mood. But yeah, the next tune in the folder, once again, shout out to Seb for making all this available, is called Runaround on the Underground. Now, obviously in the UK, the underground has a very specific meaning. I would say more generally, the underground, it could relate to any type of culture or movement that is not in the public square, that is seen as less common or maybe not in accordance with the officially stated values and mores and so on. Now, the use of the preposition on makes me think it is more literally about going on the tube, and maybe shenanigans that can entail there, because otherwise it would be more in the underground if it were about a place or a subculture that was in some ways outside of the mainstream limelight, and in some ways different, perhaps again seen as in contrast to the officially stated values of whatever society we're talking about. But again, the use of the word on makes me think we are talking about some narratives, some anecdote about hijinks or other explorations on the underground, and maybe meeting other people or having a memorable experience or so on. But I guess we'll find out. This is Erasure, Runaround on the Underground. Your paw is caught on the thing. And it's a B-side or a bonus tune included in an expanded edition for the album Wild, 1989. She's troubled.
I'm racing at the bus stop for a double-decker ride.
Feels like a lot of the major cultural references that people expect.
I slip into a window seat and then pretend to read. It's so wild, it's so wild. Wild, wild horses holding on, take the strain. They're coming at me at angles that I never knew existed.
Fourth dimension.
They ain't gonna get me. I'm building up my colors of resistance. It's a runaround on the underground.
So all that is a runaround on the underground?
A cybernetic shopper with a slight sadistic grin pulls a zipper on her sleeping bag, shuts herself within. A triple quilted chrysalis waiting for the sales. A bargain basement butterfly going off the rails.
I love these lyrics.
It's so
Clever, visually expressive. Also the acid-esque synth bass.
They're coming at me at angles that I never knew existed. Oh, they ain't gonna get me. I'm building up my colors of resistance.
That line in particular.
It's a runaround on the underground.
Again, I love the electric, elastic, and somewhat acidic nature of the synth bass.
It's so wild, it's so wild. Wild, holding on, take the strain. Take the strain. They're coming at me at angles that I never knew existed. Whoa, they ain't gonna get me. I'm building up my colors of resistance.
Those three lines feel like the key. I'm still not quite sure
Angles that I never knew existed.
what we're talking about.
But they ain't gonna get me. I'm building up my colors of resistance.
ride out with this one. But yeah, in a way, it feels like the classic Erasure sound that I somewhat remembered and knew going into this deep dive. Now, obviously, it was a very limited exposure. It was a handful of tunes from their first couple albums, as I came to realize. Or actually, there was one from the Innocents, too. But basically, it was a very limited set of songs from their first 3 albums. So obviously, you know, what Erasure was in the 80s and now as I'm going through the 90s, my understanding of that continues to expand and crystallize into more detail. But again, the overall sound of this one, this bubbly, electric, and very compelling synth pop sound, it is what I kind of think of when I think of the early Erasure sound. So yeah, in a way, I feel like it fits right into what they were doing even as the 80s were ending and they were coming to the 90s, which again, chorus, I would say, even though there's many hallmarks that are indicative of what they had done before, it definitely is a step in a new and perhaps more more mature direction. I hate saying mature because then it's like, oh, so you're saying the stuff before that is it's raw, it's like not mature. It's not really what I mean to say, but it's definitely a step up, I would say. Like, I really do enjoy the chorus album. But like I said, yeah, this fits very much into what I think of when I think of 80s Erasure, is what I mean to say. So yeah, I enjoyed the Sonics a great deal. Lyrically, again, I heard just about all the lines, and those 3 lines in particular, that they're coming at me from like angles I didn't even know existed, but I'm gonna like fight them off. I forget exactly what the second line is now, but then I'm building up my colors of resistance. Again, it's a really interesting set of lines from Andy, but I'm not quite sure, you know, the essence of what they are that are coming at him, and what the metaphor, or maybe, you know, a more literal interpretation of building up colors of resistance could be. So yeah, it's a bit opaque still, even though I heard just about all the lines. But yeah, let me know what you think of this one thematically or sonically. I think there's like one more tune in the folder. Actually, that's not true. I think it's maybe more than one. But we're, I think, more than halfway through the extra tracks for the Wild album era. And I mentioned there's a couple other things I have to tidy up. There's still parts of Disc 2 and Disc 3 from the deluxe edition of Chorus I have. There's still some I Say bonus tunes. But eventually we'll be moving on to the next proper album. So again, shout out to all the people and their patience for the Erasure reactions. I really do appreciate it. Once again, big shout out to Seb, big shout out to Han Solo, big shout out to Philip, all the people who've shared Erasure material with me as we've continued to go through their catalog. So yeah, big ups to all you. Let me know what you think of this one, and I apologize, Luca, at this point. I am going to have to move you. I think she's a bit more tired than when I first picked her up. Wow, such complaints. Well, now I feel bad, and she just lays down there. If that's, you know, there's no understanding the feline mind, no matter how well you think you know it. In any case, let me know what you think of the tune. I will see you next time. Peace.